Hey y'all, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for liking this video and thank you for subscribing to my channel. And please leave a comment. Let me know you're out there. All right, so today I'm doing a Rambly reaction to a show that's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. It is called Harlem. And it is a series about four women friends living in Harlem, New York City. Quinn, Angie, Ty, and Camille. This is season 2, episode 4 that we are on. The name of the episode is Baby and the Bathwater, and it is directed by Linda Mendoza. And the story continues. So let's talk about it, not scene by scene, but character by character, starting with Camille. I think I'm going to stick with this system of talking about this show for the entire season. I think. So far, it seems to be working pretty well. So we meet Camille and Ian back at Camille's place, and they're talking about this lawsuit. Mira's family is suing Ian because this wedding cost 68 grand. And Ian starts to talk about how it was Mira's idea to have this big grand wedding. He would have preferred to do something really simple down at City Hall, just a few family and friends around. And Camille's like, I don't need to hear all about that. I don't need to hear all about how you would have married some other. Okay. So he says, copy. That was a cute moment. And they talk a little more. And while they're sitting on the couch talking, Camille notices that her Nuva ring is embedded in the couch. It has fallen out, and that might be not good because that could mean that since they were having all that sex, there's potential that she might be pregnant as a result. And so they look it up on the little phone. Google, ask Google. Google says it should be fine. It just came out, so she should be fine. But still, that means that she needs to go and get a new one, get it reinserted, blah, blah, blah. And Ian starts rubbing her stomach and says, is it weird that I miss couch baby already? And she says, that's weird. And it's true. That was weird, but that is something that felt like true life. So either way, Camille ends up telling the girls she's doing her usual overthinking thing about having kids. Can't believe Ian would even think about that. We just got back together and I don't even have a job right now. So y'all know how Camille is. She just has to analyze every situation and talk running on and on about herself. Yeah. So she's doing that thing. And we see the girls kind of enable and encourage her. They're all kind of codependent of each other, so it seems. But Camille ends up going to see the doctor. She takes Ty with her. I'll talk about Ty a little bit later, but she takes Ty with her to go to the doctor to meet this Dr. Lisbon. And Dr. Lisbon is dope. And she is thinking about getting an IUD. And Dr. Lisbon tells her that if you get an IUD, that means you're not trying to get pregnant in the next 3 years because it's a long-term contraceptive. And so Camille's kind of does that overthinking thing, not sure, really sure what she wants to do. And the doctor says, how about you come through for this ovarian reserve testing where they freeze your eggs and maybe you change your mind later on about having kids. So it was kind of interesting how this doctor was encouraging them to do this testing, but I'm not sure. There's a line that Camille says later where she says, everybody wants us to have kids, right? And I thought that was very profound in a way. There are women who choose to not have kids that I know personally and that I've also read about. And they talk about how people are always encouraging them to procreate. So, or people find it strange when they say they don't want to have children. So I thought about them, but then I also thought about women like Camille who are unsure and how that ovarian testing probably comes in handy. The doctor says it's non-invasive, so Camille decides to do it. We find out that Camille has a low egg count, which means that she might not be able to have kids, or if she wanted to have kids, it would probably take some type of hormonal therapy, or who knows. But that's Camille's issue. And while she's talking to Ty about this, Ian walks up behind her and overhears her say, I don't want to tell Ian about this right now, especially because he's being sued, et cetera, et cetera. And Ian says, tell Ian what? Tell me what? So that's where Camille's story lands. So now that they're back together, I guess their new conversation or their new narrative within them two as a couple is going to be this whole baby conversation. So we'll see where that goes. Camille is in a weird place because she's kind of in between jobs. Ian just got this job and they did just get back together, and they're different people now, which last episode proved they're different people. Not that that love still isn't there, but they need to get to re-know each other as they are now. They were separated for 7 years. That's a long time. So that's Baby in the Bathwater, Camille's plotline. So now talk about Ty. So Ty is getting blood transfusions repeatedly from this clinic. And that's kind of scary. The doctor who's working with her, the nurse practitioner that's working with her, tells her that you can no longer get these blood transfusions. They're not things that you're supposed to get every couple of months. So maybe you should consider getting the hysterectomy. And Ty is really resistant against getting that surgery, her entire uterus removed from her body. And I don't blame her. Like, that is really intense, life-changing, body-altering surgery. So I get why Ty is afraid and resistant and feels like, no, I don't want to do that. But I didn't like the way she spoke to the doctor, healthcare person, and her lawyer. There was this moment where she's on her Bluetooth AirPod and she's talking to her lawyer. She's snapping at her lawyer and she's snapping at the healthcare person at the same time. And I understand you're frustrated, Ty. I understand you're frustrated, you're upset, you're angry. Brandon is squatting in your house. He's trying to take half your money, half what you built. Like, I get it. You are pissed and you have a right to be pissed. You have a right to be angry. I get it. But that doesn't mean you get to talk to people crazy, especially people who are giving you medical care and people who are working for you. So I need you to tone down that attitude a little bit. All right, baby girl, tone it down now. So she goes to the doctor with Camille, Dr. Lisbon, because she wants to get another opinion on what she can do about her pain. She has these cysts and fibroids and whatnot. And Dr. Lisbon says to her that there are alternatives, and a hysterectomy might not be exactly what's necessary. And you can see this look of kind of relief in Ty's face when she says that. And I was happy to hear her say that too. And so I liked Dr. Lisbon in this moment. I liked her. I was like, yeah, this is what we're looking for, and often what we find in a Black woman doctor. We may not find that, no offense to the medical industrial complex, but oftentimes as a Black woman patient dealing with a Black woman healthcare person, it does offer a sense of security, and you may feel like more of a human being. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Either way, she also suggests that Ty do the ovarian reserve testing as well. And Ty says, "Oh, I don't think I want to have kids." And Dr. Lism says, "Well, everybody says that, but you never know. You could change your mind." So Ty goes home and she has to gather all her assets for this divorce court case with Brandon. She has to write down all her assets. So her cousin Nikki is there helping her, and Nikki is played by Peppermint. And I really love this character. I really love this character, and I really love that we're getting to see the exterior lives of these characters. Like, when I say that, I mean like we're getting to see people that aren't necessarily connected to the foursome. I like that we get to see like Quinn's parents and Angie's family and now Ty's cousin. I would love to see Camille's somebody, but either way, cousin Nikki is and Ty are talking about being Black and being queer and trans in a Black family. And their granny, who was very supportive of them, gave them jewelry and things like that, and how they miss her. And cousin Nikki says that she wants to have kids because this is a chance for her to love on someone the way she wanted to be loved on. And Ty just kind of thinks about it. And it's like, yeah, like it's about breaking generational curses and sharing that sense of unconditional love and care. If you so happen to have a queer child or a trans child or just a child in general, all children need love, of course. So Ty, in this moment, Ty starts to reconsider, So it was kind of a quick turnaround considering that Ty has been struggling with care, but I think it was the way cousin Nikki said it that maybe made her rethink her positioning. So she gets the ovarian reserve testing done, and it turns out that she's got, even her eggs are overachievers, she says. Even her eggs are superb. It's giving Virgo energy. No offense to my Virgos out there. I love y'all. But Ty definitely gives me Virgo energy. Either way, she is considering doing the freezing and considering that maybe she might want to have a child one day. How about that? Okay. So that's Ty's story. Ty looked sharp as a tack at the vow renewal for Quinn's parents, which is where the last conversation took place. And now we have Angie. So hooray, Angie finally booked a gig. Angie got a gig working as the Black best friend in a Hallmark Christmas movie. This role requires her to ride a bike, and she doesn't know how to ride a bike, but she thinks she can just learn. And she says something which really made me laugh. Why, when people say, want to describe something as easy, do they say it's just like riding a bike? It's not. So I thought that was funny because, yeah, it's all about perspective. I ride bikes every day, all the time. I love bike riding, but I would never call it easy. It's fun, but it's not easy. You have to pay attention where you're going. Your legs are working, your eyes are working. It takes coordination. These New York City streets, you gotta watch out for the buses, the Ubers, other bikes, pedestrians. You just I'd be walking in the street. So no, it's not easy. So Angie has Ian and Camille trying to teach her how to ride. And she ends up busting her butt. And when she busts her butt, Camille gets to see Ian being all fatherly, catering to her, giving her a juice box, putting a band-aid on her knee. So you can see her kind of thinking about how he would be as a dad. And Angie is upset. She says, now I can never be a knee model. Okay, Angie. But she does eventually learn how to ride from Michael. You remember Michael from last episode, who Quinn's mom was trying to hook her up with at Dad's birthday party? Yeah, that Michael with the sloped flat top. Angie and Michael have a meet cute at the vow renewal, and they end up leaving together, holding hands, really drawn to each other. And I have to say, they did have chemistry, and I really love this like deep brown on deep brown love, rarely seen. Once again, I don't want to talk about colorism, but it was really nice to see to them two kind of flirting with each other and everything. So he takes her to the park and he teaches her how to ride a bike. Meet cute, how magical, how beautiful. Angie always wanted to have like a romantic, meet cute, kind of loving, adorable moment, and she had it, right? I do want to say shout out to that scene of Angie when she goes to Hallmark and she comes out of the elevator and the man with the snow says, "Welcome to Hallmark." And she walks more, and there's the receptionist stands up and says, "Welcome to Hallmark." And then she comes around the corner and sees the little two twins like from The Shining, and they say, "Welcome to Hallmark." And they both turn and run. That was a really good scene, and shout out to Hallmark for letting the show use their name like that, because yeah, it shows you guys have a sense of humor. It was great. The white folks confuse her with Countess Vaughn, blah blah blah. Either way, I'm happy that Angie got a gig. I'm happy that Angie learned how to ride a bike, even though it felt a little unrealistic for her to learn so easily, especially in a dress and heels. Either way, she learned how. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more of Angie doing her thing in the Hallmark movie. And we'll see what happens when Angie and Michael start to date and Quinn sees that she's dating somebody that her mom set her up with. Let's see if that turns into anything. I hope not. I hope not. I don't want to see these women fighting over a dude. I really don't want to see that, right? And I would like for Quinn to actually just focus on being single. Speaking of Quinn, let's talk about her storyline. So Quinn has the opportunity to do 73 questions with Vogue thanks to Mira. Mira is suing Ian, but Mira has no beef with Quinn. And I respect Mira for that. So this 73 questions series with Vogue is a big deal. I happen to watch the YouTubes of those all the time, and they're really fun. One of my favorites is the one with Tracy Ellis Ross. Either way, Quinn is still not over her breakup with Isabella. She's still feeling kind of pitiful and sorry for herself. She's still feeling like something's wrong with her. How come she can't find love and be with someone? And somebody has to tell Quinn, nothing is wrong with you. And just because you're single doesn't mean that you're lacking in life. You have amazing friends, you have beautiful style, you have both your parents who love you dearly. Focus on what you have, girl. Focus on what you have. Focus on building your business, building your brand, coming up with more designs. Stop obsessing over romantic love and not finding love. Girl, you are okay. Like, you're beautiful and talented. Everything Quinn wears from her shop is like beautiful. The outfit that she ended up choosing for 73 questions was beautiful, even though I did like the white lace, black kind of Wednesday Addams thing she tried on in the boutique. Either way, I'm talking really fast because I don't want my videos to be super long, and I'm trying to make sure that they're under 20 minutes if possible, but we'll see how it goes. Let me know if I should talk slower, if it's okay for the videos to be a little bit longer, or if you want like that 73 questions, that rapid fire. So Quinn is in Vogue. Quinn is excited. It's an amazing opportunity, but she also hasn't dealt with her emotions fully. Vogue shows up to Quinn's house and she looks beautiful. they start to shoot off the questions at her. Just, I don't know if y'all have ever watched, but definitely check YouTube if you're into fashion, check and style, check the Vogue YouTube channel, 73 questions, and you'll see how much fun it is. There's one with Zendaya, which is really fun as well. They just shoot questions at you and you're supposed to answer the questions right off the top of your head. And Quinn is so caught up in her emotions and her sadness and her feelings of loneliness. She gets so overwhelmed that she flubs her moment, her big moment. And that's not what we want, boo. That's not what we want. We don't want to flub. When a big moment comes along, a big career moment comes along, we want to snatch it. Okay? We want to shove those feelings deep down in a box, close the door, lock the key, throw the key away. All right? Vogue, baby, you're a Black woman designer up and coming in Harlem with your own boutique. You had a chance to be featured in Vogue, and you was crying over some chick that you dated for how long? I'm mad at you, girl, but listen, this is called tough love. All right. So Quinn ends up breaking down, and we see her in her bathtub crying tears. And I felt bad for her. Poor Quinny. Hopefully she'll go to therapy, and hopefully she'll turn all of that attention inward and see what it is that she thinks is lacking in herself. Because until she becomes good with being alone, she's always going to feel needy and kind of like a succubus to the people that she's dating. She's too desperate right now. So that's where the story ends. That's where Quinn's story ends, in the bathtub crying. So we have a new love affair for Angie. Quinn finally breaking down. She needed a good cry. She was holding those tears back for days. Well, actually, no, that's not true. She had a breakdown in episode 2. So she actually did have a good cry already, but I guess she needed a new one. So we see Quinn broken down in her bathtub. We see Ty considering having kids. We see Camille having to talk to Ian about the situation. And yeah, whose storyline was my favorite this week? I think it was, I guess I'm going to have to say, yeah, I think I'll say Ty. Actually, yeah, I'll say Ty for now, only because I feel like that conversation with her cousin maybe awoke something in her. We shall see. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, I'll say Ty. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're out there. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel and watch all my other videos. And if there's any shows out there that you want me to do a reaction to, leave that in the comments as well. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for your support.